think that you kind of try to elevate the knees as high as possible. So like the more you can elevate, the longer time you have in the air to execute a technique.
Yeah.
So that's something that I really try to do. So as you get the jump back kick, you try to not kind of almost jump with straight legs. So just try to pull it up and separate the knees a little bit from the kick. And it just gives a nice visual as well of a little bit of contrast. So on these kicks in particular, if you try to go directly up, it's not the same. So a little bit of a touch forward, I think, really helps with that. It just brings my body weight a little bit central. If I'm trying to jump from my stance directly, so if I can just come in and my body weight is now a little bit straighter, I can come up with that kick much easier. And then I can get the back kick off much nicer. I think knees for me is a massive thing. A lot of time, if you can get the knees higher, it just gives you that extra little bit of time in the air, and then you're just looking to extend the kick. Of course, practice it with the jump. Break it down. If you can get the kick correctly from here with a back kick, I think it goes there. But you get the idea, and then you can build it up from there.
Yeah, and stealing that concept, like I think one of the things that you can do is, okay, so we want to finish the kick at the apex of the jump, which means we have to be executing the kick on the way up. And the challenge in Yongay and Ulji is that you're kicking forwards as well. So you're trying to carry your weight forward as you go, which is a little bit more difficult than kicking on the spot or maybe moving slightly backwards as you jump with. So the rotation will want to pull me backwards. So I have to attack the kick a little bit more. And that leads us to over-rotation and some of the issues with that. But one of the things we can try to do is, yes, kick and finish on the way up and then land, but look to find that extension. So again, if we're kicking poor Bob here, that I'm looking to finish my extension on the way up so that then I can balance and recover.
Pull the legs apart.
Yeah, and then let's see about attacking, like really attacking both the jump and the kick. So in doing that, it gives us the speed we need to get there. Usually being a little bit timid around the kick causes a lot of trouble with this one, because even with or without a target, if you're turning too slowly, if we're not attacking that kick, we're not going to have enough time in the jump, and we're going to end up kicking slightly on the way down or overshooting the turn. And once we overshoot the turn, we're fighting for balance, and it's really, really hard. So
yeah, definitely. That execution there, even in your own kick, Adrian, it's nice when you see that. It's just the legs kind of traveling apart a little bit. It's just a nice visual of getting that extension, I think, which is very, very important.
There is certainly something to be said for, and some people have a really nice way of doing it, of getting the bottom leg to tuck. But it's not strictly necessary, but it is also a way to achieve that. The second leg carrying upwards will give you a little bit more elevation and a bit more hang time, and we do that with all the front leg jumping kicks. But with the turn, often the back foot going the opposite way is the break that straightens the legs out. And so, I think there's something to be said for both of those as approaches.
Yeah. And what you kind of said there as well was very important, the whole idea of not over-rotating, because as you said, it's an attacking kick, so you don't want to over-rotate, and that's what a lot of people do. They kind of, without the jump, they over-rotate the kick slightly, and they're trying to take it from here, which is just almost like a side kick. You still have to almost get your back facing the target and kicking this way. And I think, as you said, people slightly over-rotate it sometimes.